Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a well-lined wrap skirt. So now the first thing you have to know about wrap skirt is that there are different types of wrap skirt. The first one has a front and a back and has an extension, so that when you tie it, the extension will be on the front part. This second one has extension on either side and only has a back. Then the front will have like a tulip design. So you can see I'm going to be showing you how to make the first type of wrap skirt. So the first thing you have to do is to measure 1 inch for your sewing allowance. So I'm going to mark 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So now you are going to mark your hip measurement plus 2 inches for ease. So the hip is 44, but I'm going to use 46 because I want it to be free on my body. So I'm going to mark 46 inches on my main fabric. As you can see, I've marked 46 inches. So now for the extension, which is also the flap, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 2. 46 divided by 2 is 23 inches, as you can see. So I'm going to mark 23 inches. As you can see, I've marked 23 inches. And I'm going to mark an extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. So now I'm going to measure the full length of the skirt minus the ruffles. The full length is 20 inches, but I'm going to be adding half an inch up and half an inch down for sewing allowance, which means that the full length I'm going to be cutting out is going to be 21 inches. So I'm going to mark 21 inches and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I've cut out the length of the skirt at the desired length that I want. As you can see, the allowance. And this is the extension. So you can see now we're going to be working on the extension. So I want my extension to come from the right towards the left hand side of my hip. So as you can see, I've marked it on my fabric. So now we're going to go ahead and curve out this part. This part, which is the extension, which is also the flap, we're going to make a curve on that point. So now I've marked the 1 inch down to the full length of the skirt, and I've also marked out the 23 inches that we added earlier on. So I'm also going to mark this 23 inches on the down part of the fabric. As you can see, I'm going to mark this too. Then from this point, I'm going to be curving it out. I'm going to be creating a curve down to the 23 inches that I marked on the hemline. For this wrap skirt, because I wanted the ruffles to be very full, I used a total of 3 yards of chiffon fabric. You can use less if you don't want your ruffles to be full. You have to take your time and be very careful when creating a curve because it's going to show right in front of your skirt. So as you can see, I've done the necessary alterations on the curve. As you can see how the curve goes very beautiful down to the 23 inches we marked on the hemline. So I've gone ahead and cut it out, ensuring to leave half an inch allowance while I cut it out. So this is how I want the wrap skirt to look. I'm just showing you how I want it to look. So you can see the wrap is going to be from the right hand side to the left hand side. You can see. So I had to mark out the edge point so that you can see the difference. So it's important you mark yours when you are making your wrap skirt so that you know to which side that the wrap will go towards. So now we're going to measure all around the hemline. This is very important so that we'll know the amount of fabric that is going to be required to create the ruffles. So we're going to measure all round the hemline, starting from that curved point. So we got 84 inches, as you can see. 60 plus 24 is 84. So we're going to be cutting out 84 times 3 for the frills that we're going to add to the hemline of the wrap skirt. So now you're going to go ahead to the waist part of the skirt and you're going to measure all around. So this is 72 inches. 60 plus 12 is 72. So you're going to add 50 inches for the rope for your wrap skirt. So now this is the frills. Is measuring 9 inches. That is half an inch on either side for joining and for the hemming. So I cut 3 of this. That is 84 times 3. I cut 3 of it out. Then this is for the waistline. This is 3 by 122 inches. That is 72 plus 50 inches. The extra 50 inches is for the rope that you're going to be using to tie around your waist. So now we have to mark the darts, yes, because we used our hip measurement to cut the skirt. So now we have to mark the darts. So I'm going to be marking this point, as you can see. I'm going to mark that point, and now I'm going to place this on that side. Yes, I'm going to place this on the side to ensure that it is even and correct, as you can see. So now I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 on this side of the skirt. So I'll mark 4 inches. So you have to apply your nipple to nipple measurement when you want to mark your dart. So as you can see, I've marked mine. You can see it's 4 inches. I've marked it. I'm going to create a notch on that point. So I'm going to be sewing in 2 inches. That is 1 inch on either side of the dart, because the waist to the hip ratio is quite much, so I want to slim the waistline as much as possible. So when I want to sew in the dart, I'm going to be taking in 1 inch, so that when I open up the dart, it's actually 2 inches. So this will ensure that the waistline is shrinked to fit the waistline I want it to fit. The waistline I'm working with is 38 inches. So you have to take in the number of inches that will ensure that the skirt will fit your waistline. So what you did on the main fabric, you go ahead and do on your lining fabric as well. It's important you line your chiffon fabric because sometimes it can be light. So you can see I've taken in my darts. You can see how the waistline has shrinked. So it has shrinked to the waistline I want it to be. So when you are doing yours, take in the number of inches for the darts that is required that will shrink the waistline to your waistline. So I've also sewn the dart on my lining piece, as you can see. You go ahead and hem the down part of your lining piece. I've also gone ahead and created the gathers on my frills, as you can see as well. I've created the gathers on this. So the more gathers that you want for yours, the more fabric that it will require. So now I'm going to sew these frills on the down part of my skirt. Don't forget to hem the side. Don't forget to hem the sides before sewing this. So I'm going to sew this right on the hem, starting from that curved edge. I'm going to sew it all the way to this point. So you're going to iron your soft gum stay on your band. And fold in using your iron 0.25 inches. So as you can see, I'm done sewing the frills on the skirt. See how lovely it looks. So now we're going to be sewing the lining on the skirt. So I've also gone ahead and hemmed the down part of the lining. This is very important. Please don't forget that. So now you are going to place these points together and ensure that they are equal. And then you are going to place the good sides facing each other. And then you are going to sew. So this is it. After I've sewn it, I also went ahead and top stitch to secure it, as you can see. So now you are going to align everything at the waistline. You're going to align it properly. So as you can see, everything is well aligned. So now you're going to fold your band into half, and then you're going to sew that edge. And then after sewing the edge, you're going to find the midpoint on your band. Also, you're going to find the midpoint on your skirt as well. And then you're going to place them together. And that is where you're going to start sewing. So you're going to sandwich your skirt in between the band. As you can see, I sandwiched the skirt in between the band and started from the center point and sewed to either sides. As you can see how neat this look. I've also gone ahead and serged the rough edges. The rough parts of the skirt, I've serged it as well. While cutting the band, the waistband for the skirt, we added extra 50 inches to the 72 inches so that we can have this rope. As you can see, this rope is there so that you can easily tie your wrap skirt. You can see how clean and lovely this wrap skirt looks already. Thanks for watching my video. Like, share and subscribe. See you in my next video.